hope you're able to find the memorial service, and I know you got that hope. What's going on? The excitement is I finally today went in the backyard and soldered, cut out the 4 feet of bad coax, and the rabbits. I just think one of them's doing it. Whichever rabbit likes to chew on coax. 4 feet of badly mangled coaxial cable, and put on PL 259 connector. Boy, if you need someone to put PL 259 connectors on, don't call me. Oh, I struggled with that. I even watched YouTube videos, and how they did it didn't work for me. What a mangled mess. So I kind of, they're good. Yeah, they're good. It's working. Got the heat shrink tubing around it, and denied access any longer to rabbits in that area. They also kind of chewed into the 240 volt line. Yeah, they made it to the conductor. The rabbits all look fine, but I imagine one of them got kind of a thrill out of that because it was, energized. But taped that up, and I think everything's good now. So glad to be back on the air with the regular transmitter that I usually use, and glad to be here tonight. And I'll send it over to Bob. WA9JIB. Bob, how you doing tonight? KF6SYD.
KF6SYD in the group. WA9JIB. Bob here in La Cañada. Doing pretty nice. Pretty good. Here, a little warmer day. Watering. Finish up. Before the next starts. Because we haven't had rain last week. So what's up with this? I was getting kind of comfortable with rain once a week. Supposedly we're going to have an El Nino this winter, so we might get a lot of rain. And that would be okay too. Yeah, I was out after work today pulling some weeds. That's one thing you get when you get a lot of rain. A lot of stuff coming up that's got to be, some of it's got to be dealt with. So, yeah, I had to work on that today. It was kind of nice to be outside working in the late afternoon sun. So, and it wasn't too hot. Yeah, the dreaded PL259. Done it, been there. Never look forward to doing it. Have done it successfully, but it is just the most awful job in amateur radio. And I don't assert that I'm very good at it. I have a process, which I think I got out of a book. You need like a pipe cutter to do it right. And of course, if I'm using 50 AUs, I do it the way my dad taught me was. I pull a bunch of braid out and put it to one side, put a little kink in it, bring it out through one of the holes, and I solder it, and then I bend it over and solder it there. And I know that is not the recommended way, but it works for me. And I've been doing that ever since I was a little kid. Of course, you can't do that with RGA. So that way you just have to drop solder in. Hope it does the job. So, yeah, whoever invented the PL259 deserves an honored place somewhere. Back to you, Ron. KD6VWF, WA9JIB.
Okay, Bob. Yeah, I hate doing those. I had a antenna with a pigtail on it, and I had a couple new PL259s, and I kept melting that white plastic, and trying to solder in the braid, and I came, I gave up on it. I said, man, I can't believe it. So my recommendation is get the ones with the bakelite type insulation in there, as opposed to the ones with that white plastic that looks real easy. Alrighty, so we have anybody else wants to get on the early Monday night AAY list, please come now.
I'll be right back in about 2 minutes. NY 6F.
Okay, fine business, Jay. So we have anybody else wants to get on the list for Sean Starks the net? Come now, 86 WF. Morning, Steve. Put that coax in PVC pipe or something and eliminate the problem of rabbits and rodents chewing on your tables there. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that would really be a good idea to put it in some kind of metal conduit. That was actually what I was envisioning. You know how you're gonna you know, someday I'm going to really do this right, and that's the idea that I have is metal conduit, maybe about inch or a lot of stuff in there, and it's all been chewed by rabbits and squirrel. And the audio several times for this rig, the control, for push to talk. It's been victimized too. Now the coax and the power for it. So I think about 1.25 inches, 1.5 metal conduit, or reroute it. Actually, I could go from the attic on the roof down to the garage and eliminate the backyard run. But I've got, when will I ever get around to it? I don't know. Now I know myself well enough to know that will someday. But, and you're talking about, I went to HRO and bought brand new PL259s, and they're so shiny and beautiful. I used them, and they've got the white that you're talking about, and it didn't melt, and I had the whole connector hot enough to melt solder. It ran around the whole outside of the connector, and it still didn't want to go inside the holes and fix it right. And that white did not melt. I was looking at the ones I had already, which they're Bakelite inside, but I never thought about that. I don't know why the white didn't melt. Maybe the white's being made better than they used to make the white when you did it. But it withstood quite a bit of heat without failing, so I'm real glad about that. Anyhow, yeah, that needs to be. Well, someday I'll make it the way it's supposed to be. But back over to you, Ron. KF6SYD.
Call Teflon, Steve.
Yeah, those two you doubled. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said that white stuff that didn't melt is called Teflon. I play with that when I'm doing stripping the coax here to wind these toroids.
So I'm glad it didn't melt. Phil's out there, N6WHK, he doubled with you, Jay, and you guys stomped all over each other, which is, both stations are very powerful. You and Phil had such big signal. Anyway, yeah, I'm glad the Teflon stood up to it. Ron, back over to you.
Yeah, I don't think it was Teflon, the ones I had. I don't know China. More like, I don't know, neoprene or something. That was ridiculous. But yeah, Teflon, All right, Jay, so you want me to go ahead and give you the list now?
Yeah, I'm all ready here. I got my iced tea to make sure that keep the vocal cords moist, and well, this will be my first run of this, and give it our best shot and make sure the alligators don't snap at my heels here, but hold and the transmitter behaves itself. I think I'm ready there, Ron.
You're all righty, Jake. Yeah. We'll say that for you. Keep the alligators out of the pond, but you can put me first on the list, I guess. KD6WS. And then we have KM6IYC. That's Y. KM6IYC. Then we have Paul, M6DVY. M6DVY, Paul. And we have Bill, M6WHK. M6WHK, Paul. And I have George, W6YEC. W6YEC, George. Okay, then we have Ron, K6ZTA. K6ZTA, Ron. And then we have KF6SYD, Steve. KF6SYD, Steve. And we have Bob, WA9JID. WA9JID, Bob. And of course yourself. So that's the list as I have it there, Jay. Go ahead.
Okay. Copied 100% there. All right. Well, I guess I got a couple more minutes here. If anybody wants to jump into the San Diego West Coast AMI net, please give Jay at Y6L a call. No, I don't think I hear anybody else there, Ron.
Yeah, there's some real weak QSO going on somewhere, probably up north. I think there's a net up there on Monday nights at AMI, or at least an AM net up in like Washington or something. That's all I hear there, Jay. Go ahead.
Okay, well, getting a little bit of sideband over here. All right, well, we'll take a standby and let's start it off at 7 o'clock sharp, NY6L.
Okay, 6 little green lights. Good evening, Terry, and Ron and others.
All right, Skip, got you on the list. Anybody else? Looks like we got 10 so far, including myself there, Ron.
Yeah, well, that's a good start. Maybe some of the out-of-state ones a little later on during the model check. So I'll go ahead and start it now. If I were you, Jay, go ahead.
Okay, Ron. Well, I don't have the preamble with yet, but all right. Well, good evening to all. This is Jay, NY6L. We're here in the high desert of Hesperia, California. It's our first run. Myself running the San Diego West Coast AMI net here. And let me see if there's anybody that wants to get on the list. Give Jay NY6L a call. We'll be standing by.
Alpha 6, Juliet, Kilowatt, November.
Okay, let's get your call one more time again. It took a little fade. NY6L.
Yeah, okay, Jay, this is Whiskey Alpha 6, Juliet Kilowatt November. That's Whiskey Alpha 6, Juliet Kilowatt November.
All right, Kevin, got you on the list. Anybody else for the West Coast AMI net before we get started? Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. I'll make. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we've got the happy dozen here. All right. Well, let's get started here. This is JNY6L. This is Hesperia, California here, running the West Coast San Diego AMI net. And on the list we have here, we have Ron, KD6VWS. We got Larry, KN6IYC. We got Paul, N6BZY. And we got Phil, N6WHK. We got George, W6YEC. And we got Don, K6ZTA. We got Steve there with his coax 6. And the Energizer Bunny's running around, KF6SYD. We got Bob, W89JIB. We got myself here, NY6L. We got Skip, K6LGL, out of Santa Monica there. And we got Kevin, WA6JKN. Anybody else? Okay, well, let's start off with Ron. KD6VWS. How are things over there in Joshua Tree, NY6L?
Okay, Jay. Why don't we do it? Let's do a tune-up before we start the net, Jay. And then you can pass it back to me.
All right. My goodness, forgot about that. All right. So everybody do the tune-up and, I guess, tune for maximum smoke. Not from the transmitter. So everybody give a tune-up there for 1 minute and be sure and identify your station. NY6L Hesperia. Okay, NY6L Hesperia here. Steve, you're at the top of the pile there. Very good. All right. Before I continue on with Ron, is there any other check-ins to the San Diego West Coast AMI net, NY6L Hesperia?
KD6TKX.
Okay, got KD6TKX. Anybody else? Okay, let's move along here to Ron. Go ahead and let us know how things are going there in Joshua Tree, KD6VWS, NY6L Hesperia.
Okay, Jay. NY6L, KD6VWS, yeah. Chandler Comer stay here today. Mid-80s, maybe a little warmer now. Perfect weather for being outdoors, cruising around. Cruising around the desert. Perfect weather. Yeah, the motorcycles are out and about now. And when I went up into the monument, National Park last Saturday, there's a lot of motorcycles up there. So, the motorcycles are out on the road. Anyway, this is Ron and Joshua Tree, and tonight I'm running the Dynamic version 1, 152 watts of KF, Turner +3 microphone and receiving on the NC-125. And I have to keep on because some stations are kind of off, but hopefully it'll get better. But that's going up to the W3 Drake watt meter, and that goes over to the SA-2040 Heathkit antenna tuner, and that's coax out of that going up to the inside wall there, about 25 feet. We have a quarter row counterpoise off the shield coming up on the ground underneath of it, and AMI number is 1671. And now I'm just going to mention, if anybody wants the AMI information, the easiest way is just to go to N9 AMI's QRZ page, and you can get all the information there and all the links to stuff pertaining to the AMI. So that, of course, everybody on the net now, I think everybody has a number anyway, so. Anyway, okay, so back to you, Jay, and thank you for talking to net tonight. So, NY6L. Oh, and no one to swap at a round table, but I will be listening too. NY6L, 36 AWS.
All right, Ron, very good. By the way, you're about 10 to 15 over here on the National NC 303. All right, let's move it over to Larry, KN6IYC. And how are things going there, Larry? Go ahead. All right, Larry. Good audio. Amazing what your 65 watts and the setup you got going there. It, somehow your audio's got very commanding audio there. Can you imagine putting that through an amplifier, the RF? It would be a very good loud station there. All right. Okay. No on the swap or round table. All right. Let's get to Paul. N6BZY. NY6L Hesperia.
Okay, NY6L in the group, N6BZY. Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty good there, Larry. Don't touch, I would write down all of your settings, lock everything down. Anyway, AMI number here is 278, and we're running the usual stuff here. A Super Senior 8040 model with a D104 microphone with the little bass unit that DIY provides with them, if you so desire. Right now we're got it cranked back. I'm running about 300 watts of carrier, and we're going through a Dentron Super Tuner to an inverted V at 35 feet, and receiving on an NC300 with the matching speaker. I think that's about an 8 or a 9-inch speaker in there, if I recall. It sure sounds good, and I've always enjoyed the audio on the NC300 and the 303, both of them. And let's see here, got the ball game going in the background. Padres are ahead of the Giants 1-0. And that's about it. Nothing for the swap or the round table. So everybody have a good evening. NY6L in the group and 6BZY.
All right there, Paul. All right, well, just about, we both probably got almost the same setup here. The Super Senior, the 80-40 meter Super Senior, and the D104. Well, I'm using the D104 microphone with the audio processor, the K7 DIY audio processor with the NC303, and MFJ 3 kilowatt roller inductor to keep everything nice and flat, keep the transmitter happy. So, all right. Well, very good there, Paul. Good station, and you're about almost 30 over S9 over here, so good signal. All right, let's move along to Phil, N6WHK, NY6L for the San Diego West Coast AMI net.
Thank you, Jay. NY6L and 6WHK. Well, I'm running a little boat anchor setup. Running Viking Ranger, Hammerline HQ110, L4B, approximately maybe 200 watts out, and a Johnson matchbox to keep it under control, D104 non-amplified, and a 610 scope to watch everything and try to keep the pattern down to where it belongs. About 235, 240 feet of wire for my loop. Hammerline speaker, which is giving me good audio. I like the speaker. It matches everything else I have. And I was going to tell Steve, I had the same problem. My house and my antenna is several hundred yards apart, up the side of a hill. And I have raccoons, I have rabbits, I have squirrels, I have rats, I have all kinds of chewing critters. And they cut my coax to the TA6 a couple times. So I put PVC pipe in the ground, ran the coax through the PVC pipe, and put steel wool on one end of it to keep the critters from getting in there. And that's what I've been using, and I haven't had a problem since. And the PVC is doing a very good job of protecting my coaxes and my control line. So with that, that's the J. NY6L. You're sounding really strong down here in San Diego. And WHK.
All right, Phil. Anything for the swapper roundtable, Phil? Over.
No, sir. I'm going to go walk the dog before the coyotes come out.
Roger, roger. Okay. Well, you got a good signal here, too. 20 over. All right, let's go to George. W6YEC, NY6L.
All right, Jay. NY6L and the rest of the group, W6YEC. Doing an excellent job, Jay. Thanks for stepping in. We're running the normal setup here, the Viking Ranger, driving a Sugar Baker 220 for about 300 watts of power, an AKG microphone to a Behringer equalizer to fine-tune the audio a bit, and listening on a Hammerlin HQ110. But I chose to use a National 10-inch speaker that came with the HRO60 receiver, and that's what my speaker is. But I also have a homebrew 66 amplifier. Glomus actually was made by Glomus, but I rebuilt it several times. And that's driving a helicopter speaker, so does a pretty good job. The sound is really nice coming out of the Hammerlin, and I think it's probably about 10 kc. Anyway, I was playing around here in the shack, just checking out my computer here for my remote setup. We're going to do some rearranging in here. We're going to put a server in here, a desktop, I think, and quit fooling around with the laptop as a server. Anyway, that's my story here, and we're using the full wave loop antenna for about 40 feet. This homemade feed line bringing it into the shack to a tuner. All right, no on a round table or anything like that tonight. 7 trees, everybody. Glad you all could make it. And back to you there, Jay, NY6L, W6YEC.
All right, George. Very commanding, loud signal here up in the high desert. Almost 40 over S9. Almost pegged the needle out on the NC303. All right, well, I'm going to take a pause before I pick up Vaughn. Is there any more check-ins to the San Diego West Coast AMI net? Is this Jay, NY6L? Okay, hearing none. Vaughn, go ahead and pick it up. K6ZTA, NY6L.
Okay, Jay. Thank you. NY6L, K6ZTA. Yeah, the handle is Vaughn, Victor Oscar November, here in Woodland Hills. And my AMI number is 1757, using the Viking 2. And let's see, we're running about, we're, by golly, look at that. The peak value is about 400 watts. By Jove, I'm running I've got 100 watts of carrier. And I guess you multiply by 4, don't you? Okay. And to get the peak value or something like that. Anyway, that's totally approximate. Yeah, and the microphone is at D104, and the antenna tuner is at 2060. Inverted V is at 55 feet. And the receiver is an SX96. So we managed to unload the hot water or the heat kit CW twins, and hopefully the fellow that bought it, well, he didn't really. Yeah, he bought it. Ken. Yeah, I think it's called K6 TOX. I think that's right. Tango Oscar X-Ray. I believe that's what it's called. Anyway, and no sooner than did he leave the premises with it, because he was close enough to pick it up, which was convenient. Then I had a call from a guy from Eugene, Oregon, who wanted it. So unfortunately, I had to tell him that it was already spoken for. In fact, it was gone. So anyway, enough of that. No on the swap, no on the round table, and we'll listen through for a little while. And a very good evening to everyone. NY6L K6ZTA.
All right there, Vaughn. Nice sounding station, very crisp audio. Okay, Steve, KF6SYD, with the Energizer bunnies running around. NY6L. Take it away there, Steve.
All right, Jay. I took the drums away from them, but they're walking around silently. Oh, Jay, thank you so much for doing this. You're doing a great job. Huge signal and your location. There's no noise at all. You hear everybody, so it's perfect. Thank you, Jay.
KF6SYD, Stephen, Long Beach, AMI 1708, CCA AM 1000D transmitter, inverted V at 70 feet, AKG microphone. Guys, it's great to hear everybody. Band's really good right now, and I can just hear everybody fine. And Phil,
it was so nice to put on one of my brand new tips onto my Weller soldering gun and go out and fight with these PL259s. Whoa, it's so good to have brand new tips pop in there. Thank you so much for the part number and everything. It just opened it all up. I just wasn't just beating my head against the wall trying to find these things and gave up quite a while back. So that at least it was cool to have the new tips tonight, or this afternoon rather. And Vaughn, the maiden voyage of the ICO 753 was Thursday. Yeah, that was the Drake net, but we put the ICO on there, and they helped me. The main thing I had wrong with it was the audio setting. I had too much, way too much audio. So now mic gain's down around. Whoa, it's almost off. And your microphone and the head for your microphone sounds just as good as the head I put on that I always use when I want to sound good. Yours sounds just as good. So I'm using your D104, all of it, for that. I think the mic gain's probably at 8:30 position, not quite 9 o'clock. And everybody started sounding it. It said it sounded just fine. So, yeah, I like it. It worked good. And hopefully, if nothing comes up, we'll be on with it tomorrow night on the Vintage Sideband Roundtable. I'd like to put the ICO up there. But thanks again, Vaughn, for the rig and the microphone. And it's really nice looking, too. It's not a scratch on it. I really like it. Jay, no swap, no round table, and thanks again, and back over to you, NY6L, for the net, KF6SYD.
Glad you're enjoying it.
All right there, Vaughn and Steve, yeah. The comment on the ICO, don't do anything more to it, Steve. It's got a very unique sound, and it sounds marvelous on sideband. So there you go. And Steve, I'm glad that you took the drums away from the bunnies. I have bunnies up here in the high desert. Short bodies, big ears, gray in color, along with the ground squirrels. They kind of decide to eat my fruit. Some of the fruit I have here. But anyway, that's another story. All right, over to Bob, WA9JIB, NY6L.
NY6L in the San Diego AMI group, WA9JIB. Bob over here in La Cañada. where I'm hearing everybody coming in good. Band got pretty stable right after sundown, I guess. So yeah, I'm running the usual amp station, D104, Johnson, Viking Valley, inverting, whatever I know. 5 watts or something like that. Up to my inverted D dipole, which comes off a 35-foot mast. I've never been troubled by bunnies or squirrels on it, but I don't have my coax on the ground. My coax comes down from my mast, goes into a little bit of a, I guess you call it a rain loop. Just basically it goes a little lower than where I'm bringing it into the house, and then comes back up through the attic vent. And yeah, I've never had a problem with animals chewing my coax. But like I said, I don't have it. I don't have it. Chewing everything else around here. Oh boy, the pine tree out in the front, loaded with pine cones. They just make a mess of that. And I found 2 dead squirrels last week. I was really sad about that. Even though they really make a mess, you know, I just enjoyed watching them run around in the tree. And I don't know what happened to them. Somebody poisoned them or shot them, or they just fell out of a tree. But anyway, I lost 2 of my buddies there. But there's now another one has moved in, so it doesn't take long, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I'm just very protective of the animals that live around my house. Looking at things. I got my lizards, I got my tree squirrels, I got my ground squirrels. Twice I've had snakes. Only twice. 25 years old. The raccoons twice. Lots of birds, blue jays. I like all of them. The things I'll kill are black widow spiders and scorpions. So anyway, let's see. Jay, you're doing a good job. By now the power should be just going to your head, I guess. So you got to stay humble about this. If you need the write-up on the preamble, let me know and I'll email it to you for next time. So, but you're doing a great job. Vaughn, yeah, I've spoken with K6TOX. He's a good guy. He was kind of interested in some gear I had, but then I never got back to him on it. So, yeah, he's a good guy, and I'm glad that stuff found a good home. So, okay, so let's see. No MI number for me. No buy and sell swap. And I don't think anybody's signing up for the round table, but I'll hang out with the cycle. I guess that's a lowercase, yeah. WJ, 4Y6L, W89JI.
All right, very good, Bob. And also, you're more than welcome with that manual I gave you, a clean copy for your Johnson transmitter there. All the red notes I put in there for you. And I guess I'm next on the list. JNY6L in the high desert, net control for the West Coast. San Diego, AMI net. AMI number 1548. And we're running the 8040 meter Super Senior here. And I just glanced at my peak reading watt meter. I'm doing about 931 watts thereabouts. And my average reading meter on the antenna tuner, I'm still putting out a carrier, so that's good. Anyway, and NC303 on the receive end, D104 microphone with the K7DYY audio processor board at the base of the microphone. And let's see here. I'll probably just hang around if anybody wants to talk on the round table, if there is anybody. And let's see here. And Bob, your signal about 20 over S9. And good audio too, so keep it up there. All right, my long distance neighbor, Skip, K6LGL, NY6L. And then the night edition K6L here. Strictly Panama today. Hey. Yeah, I had almost 20 years ago, exactly. I started as net control on this frequency for the Wednesday AMI net, along with W6BCN and K6CJA, and there was a W1 in there also. And I think the first appearance of NI6Q also. And he just gotten his call revised. So, had my chance at it too. Now, for a number of years, I think 3 or 4 years I ran. And then moved on to other things. Anyway, I'm still in my Benton Harbor plate modulated suitcase, white metal, under the D104. 100 watts of carrier there. But fully solid state, just the talk. Wow. And the AMI number, certificate number is 1326-1326. Probably won't be around for the roundtable, but hey, Jay, I think you'll enjoy it. It's a good group of people, you know, the AMers. Pretty dedicated. There's a variety of equipment and so on. So. And by the way, great signals tonight. The weakest one was Kevin, but I think as it gets now totally dark, he'll be up too. So that's the way it is. So back to you, and hey, keep the good thing going, and welcome aboard. I think you'll enjoy it. NY6L, great signal and great net. K6 little green light. All right, Skip, thank you very much, and very humbling experience here so far. I took a kind of a dip there. I don't know if you're going to stick around for the roundtable or not, skip over.
Well, I wasn't planning to, but I think I'll stick around just in case, correct?
All right, Skip, I put you down for the roundtable. All right. All right, let's go to Kevin. WA6JKN NY6L.
Okay, Jay, doing a great job. Yeah, we got another up and coming net control. That's exactly what the doctors ordered, by golly. What a professional sounding voice. And boy, you didn't miss a beat. That's pretty darn good. I wish I could have said the same thing my first time doing this. Nope. And of course, we have the double stack rotatable rhombic net control operator. I don't know how he does it with his running low power, but he's super strong. And Jay, you're super strong tonight too. So anyway, this is Kevin and Gilroy. You know the old saying, Gilroy is also known as the garlic capital of the world. You caught me with a meter in my hand. The probes, I was measuring some 3 meg resistors and 1 meg resistors that have a tolerance of 1%. They're high voltage resistors and a protection circuit. And one of them was out of the 1%, but doing the math, it's not going to make any difference. But I'm going to get another resistor, but here's the problem. Does anybody know where I can get a 1 meg ohm resistor, high voltage, 2 watts, 1%? Cannot exceed 1%. The overall length Cannot exceed. Let's see here. Let me just get the caliper out here. Okay. 56.78 millimeters. And for those that aren't familiar with that, it's about 2.235 inches. All right, so that's my want. I have a want. I'll repeat it for net control. A 1 meg high voltage resistor, 1%, no less than 2 watts. I can have bigger wattage, say up to 5%, so long as it does not exceed the 2.235 inches in length. Prefer to be an actual lead resistor. All right, there you go. So I'll send it right back over to you, Jay. I guess I'm the tail end Charlie here. So without further ado, pick it up. And congratulations. WA6JKN, Kevin and Gilroy.
All right, Kevin. WA6JKN. Gilroy. Love garlic. I got garlic in the refrigerator there. It's good for you. Kevin, you may want to try, if you haven't already, Surplus Sales of Nebraska. They got all kinds of stuff, including resistors and tubes and whatever else. You may want to check that out. And no, there's actually one more here at the tail end. We got KD6TKX to pick it up. NY6L.
NY6L and the AMI group. This is KD6TKX. Thank you, Jay. Great signal here. Doing a great job running the net. This is Andy, located at Curry Mountain, California. And tonight running the 1944 Helicrafters BC610E transmitter and 1942 RCA AR88 receiver, a stock non-amplified D104 going into the BC614 speech amp, and the antenna is a resonant fan dipole, about 35 feet up in the air. And it sure is good to hear everyone tonight. The signals are getting better as we get into the turning the corner on the season, and everyone's just blasting in here. Ron and Steve are just killing it, and Jay, you're got the meter all the way over to the right there, so sounding really good. My AMI number, thanks to N9AMI, is 1845, and no swap, no roundtable, but nice to hear everyone out there tonight with nice AM signals on 3870. So NY6L, thank you much for taking the net. This is KD6TKX.
All right, Andy. About 30 over S9 on the NC303 here. Good sounding audio. And yeah, this is my my first run without having the alligators bite on my heels here, running the West Coast San Diego AMI net. So, is there any other last check-ins before we go to the roundtable? This is Jay, NY6L in Hesperia, California.
WJ6W.
Pick up WA6LJ.
Yeah, there's Bill in there, WA6LJ. Anyway, Bill is here.
Okay, I got Dave, WJ6W. Anybody else? One at a time, please.
Yeah, you had Bill, WA6LJR.
He's in Pismo Beach, too.
Okay, so I got Bill, WA6LJR. Anybody else?
NA7RH. Can you hear me? Hear me there, Jay? NA7RH.
Oh, that's a little bit rough copy. One more time again, slowly, please. NY6L.
November Alpha 7, Romeo Hotel. Doorway America 7, Radio Hotel. Wish those guys would go away.
All right, got you down. NA7RH. Net control. Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, Jay, NY6L on the Monday night AM group, WJ6W. You know, it isn't my habit to normally check in on Mondays, but then I remembered you were going to run it tonight, so I had to tune in, and you're doing just a fantastic job. I'm excited. I hope you can do it more often. And they're just handling everything very, very smoothly. And so we're running the same transmitter as you tonight, the 8040 Super Senior, and the microphone's an RCA 77DX, do some audio processing, and then out to an inverted V up at 65 feet. AMI number is 1235, 1235. And I won't stick around. I'll listen, but I won't participate in the roundtable. But I had to jump in, and you're doing just a fantastic job here tonight. Back to you, NY6L, WJ6W.
All right, Dave. Well, just taking it slow and easy, and so far the Super Senior not kick off. So I'm kind of watching the meters and everything here, so very, very good. And thanks for the compliment. I will do as many of these as net control as possible, so Dave could fill in. All right, let's move it over to Bill, WA6LJR, to pick it up. NY6L, net control.
All right, cool. N6YL, I think it is, WA6LJR. Thank you for letting me check in. I'm really having to watch a lot of knobs and dials, and I just picked up a old Hewlett-Packard frequency counter, and I wanted to make sure I was on frequency on this Valiant. Seems to be dead on. Anyway, from the frequency counter. It was a good buy for $8. Back to you, WA6LJR.
All right, Bill. Anything buy seller swap for the round table?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of good tubes to sell, but let me inventory them, but not tonight. Thank you very much, WA6LJR.
All right, Bill. Very good. Okay, and last but not least, NA7RH. Pick it up. NY6L, net control.
NY6L, NA7RH. I hope you can hear me a little bit over all those alligators from the Southland. They're mighty loud over here, so sorry, I should have picked another day to try to compete with those guys. So anyway, Bob, this is Bob here in the Scottsdale area, running the old 62.5 swoop tip special, an 8236 modulated by 1625s, 12 push pull out of the 1961 through 64 ARRL handbook. And also with a W2IHY box and an ICOM electric microphone. And tonight I've been listening on the Night Kit R55, the old Night Kit modified R55 from 1961 with a big old Hammond output transformer in it and a big old negative feedback in the audio. It sounds really high fidelity. All these full signals sound very good. I'm sure my little weak one, though, is not doing nearly as well. Anyway, I'll keep it short. No on the swap, no round table, and enjoy listening to everyone this evening.
Back to you, Jay, if you can hear me. NA7RH.
All right. No, actually, you cut through the southern moss there. I heard everything you had to say there, and you're doing a good job there out of Scottsdale, Arizona there. Signal picked up, actually, S9 to 10 over at times. So, all right. Before we go to the round table, which is only myself and Skip and possibly Bob there at WA9JIB, anybody else want to check in or to the San Diego West Coast AMI net? Give Jay a call, NY6L Net Control. Okay, hearing none, I just want to thank everybody for checking in. So it looks like it's going to be possibly Bob, W9JIB for the roundtable, myself, NY6L, and Skip, K6LGL. So let's see if Bob's out there.